So welcome everybody. This is Microsoft 365 and Power Platform Community Call happening every single Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Which 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is super important, especially today and actually a few weeks forward, whenever US moved to summertime and daylight savings already last weekend, Europe moves within 3 weeks. So that means that if you're based in Europe, you might be wondering, wait, is this call 1 hour before than previously? And the answer is yes, for 3 weeks, and then it gets aligned again when Europe moves to the Pacific time zone, daylight savings. For any country like India, which is not moving and using daylight savings, this is now adjusted until I think October, because whenever the US again moves to winter time, and then it gets adjusted again. It's super complicated, but if you have downloaded the recurrent invite, all of that is getting actually up to date within your calendar automatically. We're going to talk about that one a bit more detailed within upcoming slides as well. Now, today it is March 11th. My name is Esa Juvonen. I'm a principal product manager at Microsoft 365, focused on community and open source side, and working together with our partners, our Power Platform side closely as well. Today, we're going to go through the latest updates and news, of course, across Microsoft 365 Power Platform, and we're going to do the group photo together in together mode picture, crossing fingers that everything works great today. We've been having a bit of a hiccups every now and then there for not actually that video capturing that well, but hopefully getting 50 people in the picture today. And then we actually go to the roughly quarter past. We'll move to the actual stars of today. We'll start with Mariana Araujo, and I do apologize on pronunciation on that one, on files as knowledge on Copilot Studio. Then we move to Bob Sherman, talking about create your first declarative agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then the last, but definitely not the least, is Rama, talking about discover and install agent inside of the Copilot Studio. We're looking into closing on the hour again. If we go a few minutes long and you need to drop from the call, it's okay. Everything is getting recorded and published within our YouTube channel. Great segue on telling where the YouTube channel is. So if the first one, AKMS Community YouTube, you want to subscribe on that one. All of the community call recordings, demos, everything else is getting published over there. There's a lot of other stuff there. We publish roughly 1 to 2 videos every single business day. So a lot of new content available across Microsoft 365 and Power Platform. We do have our LinkedIn page, open source sample galleries, a lot of stuff available for you to take advantage, a lot of URLs to remember. There's technically one URL. Well, actually, we nowadays say 2 URLs. So there is the older URLs, which is AKMS Community Home. That works as well. But we do have a new cool fancy URL, which is community.ms, which is redirecting also to the same location where you can find all of the details to download recurrent invites and all of the details on YouTube channel and all of the sample galleries and a lot of other stuff as well. So that's a great, easily rememberable, that wasn't English, a URL. Now, on the community calls, so we do have a community call every single Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, except on summertime and holiday season in Northern Hemisphere, which means that within July and August, the Tuesday call isn't happening. But right now it's happening at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And key point there, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So, and that means since US moved to the daylight savings last weekend, it will be adjusted for rest of the world. So if you're based in Europe, Europe moves to daylight savings within 3 weeks. If you are not in a country which uses daylight savings, if you are in a country which does not use daylight savings, it is now adjusted until October. So if you have downloaded the recurrent invite, that is adjusted automatically based on the schedule which we are following up. If you have created the invite by yourself, then there might be differences where on the time zone where you have created the invite. Now, on top of the Tuesday call, we do have Power Platform monthly call, Office Add-ins monthly call, and then our bi-weekly series happening on Thursday, which is 7 a.m. Pacific time, typically, except there's a few exceptions. Now, these 2 calls are highly impacted on the daylight saving differences between US and Europe. And the reason why that is that one of these calls is created actually in a European time zone, and one of these calls are created in US time zones. But we don't want to break that sequence. So if you have downloaded the recurrent invite, it will be adjusted correctly within your calendar if you have taken that from there. So please do that, and that will then resolve you when do you have that Thursday call when we are in this mixed time zone difference until Europe and US are again aligned. So as an example, 13th and 27th of March, the bi-weekly call, the Microsoft 365 Power Platform community call, is actually impacted in the US side. not on European side. So that is a 8 a.m. In Europe, if I remember correctly. But then the Vivo Connection SharePoint framework is at 7 a.m. On Thursday. Bit of a complicated thing. If you download the recurrent invite, you'll be fine. You can actually see when the call is happening. And we are publishing the times and everything else, obviously, normally in Meetup and all of those locations. For a lot of these calls, we do welcome community demos. So everybody can actually do demos in many of these calls, well, not on Tuesday call, but still. And that's a great way of you showcasing what you built, and we do welcome those stories. The way you actually sign up for those demos is that you go to this form, AKMS Community Request Demo, and you explain the title, expected content, and then we get you scheduled on the right community call based on the content what you're planning to present. It doesn't have to be rocket science, it doesn't have to be open source, but we do not welcome product demos. And what I mean with that one is that if you are an ISV or a product provider and you want to sell your product, that's not what these calls are all about. It's more about, okay, how have you used Microsoft products and services, and how have you extended them, or the use cases for all of that. And those are always welcome as a community demos. Now, to get started, there's a lot of material available at learn.microsoft.com in both Microsoft 365 and Power Platform side. A lot of modules completely free for you to take advantage. One way to also get some inspiration is to get advantage or seeing all of the individual samples which we have available in our unified sample gallery. So at the AKMS community samples, we are surfacing Microsoft 365 Power Platform samples which are coming from Microsoft and from community. So rather than you getting forced on figuring out which repository in GitHub where the sample is and how do I now get started? No, you go to this one location. Every single sample in GitHub relevant for these areas is being surfaced in this one centralized location, making it super easy for you to get some inspiration and ideas and maybe samples which you can use within your day-to-day work. As you then find a sample, you might be wondering on, wait a minute, how do I actually now start using this sample, or how would I contribute back on this sample? And that's why we have Sharing is Caring initiative. And now I will mute somebody because somebody has a really, really wide. Where is the, okay, thank you for that. Somebody help on that. But when you are starting to start using the sample or contributing back, that's why we have Sharing is Caring initiative. And David Warner is from LA studios explaining what this is all about.
Yes, Vesa, thank you. It is whatever time it is in LA. I don't know, because time zones are hard, everybody. But what is also hard, but we make it easy, GitHub. And contributing to the community. That's what Sharing is Caring is all about. We just had a session yesterday. It was fantastic. There were double-digit attendees. They said their minds were blown. They've now felt empowered to contribute to the community and use those samples, and that's the intent of these sessions. They are live. They are hands-on. They are safe space, which means we do not record them, so you can feel free to ask any and all questions. They are great ways to learn and collaborate with the community, so be on the lookout for more sessions scheduled soon. Todd and Stephanie are going to be leaning in and helping out there, so it's going to give us more of scalability to get more of these sessions scheduled. And then April and I are working on some of those responsive Power Apps and component libraries, a lot more tactical sessions. So we really appreciate those who attended. Be on the lookout, ak.ms/sharing is caring for the newest and updated sessions that will get scheduled in the next few days. And then, of course, once you do contribute, we want to recognize you, and that's where our community recognition program comes in. Alive and well, very popular. You may have seen the latest drop yesterday of the newest badges coming up in April, May, and June to kind of celebrate May the 4th be with you. Yes, that's right. Star Wars themed badges, everybody. So it's an opportunity to keep on the lookout for exactly how those are going to work. May the open source be with you. The fork awakens and rise of the contributor. It is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun and opportunities to gain these badges, and you may laugh at them a little bit, but keep in mind they are real and accredited badges. We want to make them fun because it should be fun to contribute to the community, but they do show that you're making a difference in the community. So show them to your bosses, show them to your clients. It lets them know that, hey, you are involved and the community and the technology is better because of you. We do need you to opt in, though, ak.ms/community/recognition. It is 100% free. We cover the costs. So all we need you to do is give us your GitHub information and the email you'd like the badges sent to, and we'll take care of the rest. So really appreciate all that everyone has already been doing. Those 2,200 plus samples would not be possible without you. So thank you. We love you. Appreciate it. Vesa, back to you in the Finland studios.
Excellent. Thank you, LA Studios. I need to call out Ollie's comments. The fork awakens is genius, and I absolutely agree on that. So great work on this, David. It's a really good naming on the badges as well. So awesome to see these getting to be available during summertime this year. Brilliant work. Thank you for that one. Now, quick recap on all of the different events which are happening across our Microsoft verse, so to say. First of all, we do have I will actually click here, and we do have our SharePoint Hackathon ongoing right now. We've been already have 5 live streams of the sessions available. We are already getting contributions, and this is a hackathon for everybody, so you don't have to be a developer. This is a hackathon where you can do 4 different categories. You can actually create a video on how do you use SharePoint agents, or how do you use out-of-the-box designs and create an out-of-the-box portal with SharePoint or Viva Connection. Or then if you are a pro developer, we do have welcome those under the SharePoint framework submissions as well. So please do check out more details at AKMS SharePoint Hackathon. That closes on 17th of March, so a bit less than a week to time to get a video which is showcasing what have you built and the cool looking designs for as a submission. And everybody who's submitting will get a badge over there as well, but there are other prizes as well. Now, we do have also the Microsoft 365 Community Conference coming up on early May. By the way, one of the prizes in Hackathon is to actually get to this conference and potentially to stage, if you want, together with Jeff Teeper, which is pretty cool, getting some visibility and explaining what have you built on top of the Microsoft 365. But that's on May 6th to 8th as Las Vegas at MGM Grand. Then we have Düsseldorf coming up on ECS. It's a combination of 3 different conferences: European Collaboration Summit, European AI Cloud Summit, and European BISAP Summit, happening at the same time in Düsseldorf, 26th to 28th of May. Awesome opportunity to engage with the community. Then we have the TechCon 365 coming pretty soon as well at Seattle, Atlanta, and Dallas, followed up with Power Platform Community Conference in October. Really awesome thing as well at MGM Las Vegas as well. And then last but not the least, definitely is ESPC Dublin coming up on in early December 2025. On top of these, there's a lot of other events happening all around the world, and you can see more details on those at communitydays.org. So a lot of events happening, and this isn't the complete list. There's a lot of events happening before June and July and August, and even already events actually getting announced on the rest of the year. Now, this week on the news site, that's a pretty messy slide. Somebody didn't do a proper job on adjusting all of the pictures. I do apologize on that one, but we do get all of the latest news available within the chat, so we're getting them fixed from there. So you can actually have a look on all of the news related on Copilot and Power Platform, Power Pages, and all of that, which has been announced within the last week from that list of announcements. So really cool. Now, before we go to the Together mode picture, so you can already start enabling your camera, so things are picking up on that side. We wanted to remind you on this great opportunity of also sharing your Copilot prompts, which is a great option on sharing what you have done and how you have adjusted the Copilot based on your needs. And prompt of the week this week is coming from Marcus Franz, and this is about organizing my Monday meetings in structured list format. Great example of how you can actually get a table format or structured list format based on the information on your calendar, so information which is relevant for you and be making you more productive within your day-to-day work as well. Great example of how you can adjust the Copilot on our needs. Now, then it's time to go to the optional picture time. So if you're willing and all good, you can enable the camera. And we have already a few people who have done that. Thank you, Todd, right next to me on the back row, and April as well. There we go. Bob is there as well. Casper, Daniel, a lot of familiar faces. I will actually adjust the layouts and see in a bit, so we're not always on this boring one. So let's go to I like the green one. I like forest. That's always better. And we're starting to fill up the room. So we do have 50 seats in the room. Let's wait a while. We'll start handshaking in a second. I think we still have room. It might actually pick up or not pick up. Let's actually then start running out of time. I will do the recording on. Let's do some hand waving, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this community. Awesome to have you on a call. We'll grab a key animation out of this. Thank you for being here. Great to have you on a call. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Awesome job. Excellent. Really cool. Now, then it's time to go to the real stars of the day, and we'll start with Mariana on files as knowledge for Copilot Studio. Then we move forward to Bob, and then Rama as the final demo of the day. 50 minutes is the target. Let's see how it goes. We're a bit delayed on the schedule, but Mariana, I can see you on a call. I think you're good to go.
Oh, thanks for that introduction. It was lovely to hear all the great things that we're doing and this awesome community. Let me start by sharing my screen and start it.
Screen
Can you see my screen?
I can see the screen. Let's go to the presentation mode if possible, and then move forward from there.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to use uploading files as a knowledge source when creating Microsoft Copilot Studio agents. One of the questions that some people ask is, what exactly is knowledge? And simply put, knowledge is data. The same way that we learn from books and movies and videos and all sorts of like hands-on information, which is data, the same thing applies to the digital world. And so anything from websites and files can be considered knowledge. It can be structured, meaning tables, anything that's on the table that it's structured, and then it could be unstructured, meaning anything that it's not in a tabular form, like PDFs, Excels, videos, audio, in such and such. So what is files as a knowledge source? This is the ability to use any file that you have locally stored for Microsoft Copilot Studio agents to provide answers based on its content. So you can use files to build an agent in Copilot Studio so your end users have a conversation. What is files as a knowledge source in a more detailed manner is unstructured data, so it's not tabular. We can support over 15 types of files, and there's also a link like upload files as a knowledge source on Microsoft Learn, which is also provided by Vesa. We can support files up to 512 megabytes and all the way up to 500 files nonetheless. So that's a lot of data that you can have in just one agent. So let's get started using a scenario, retail-based scenario. I'm gonna shift between my PowerPoint and the actual environment. So I have here my environment, Copilot Studio. Let's start building a new agent. So I want to build a retail agent that allows me to check on home appliances. This is just a simple instruction just to get Copilot Studio started on building an agent. You can see on the right some of the configurations that's already in the work, and it's providing a name, home appliance assistants. I'm like, how about retail assistant? You can see it processing. Soon you will see here moving from agent to retail assistant 1, which you can then refine, and then we can create the agent. Now, this will take you to the agent. It's setting up the agent configurations. So you will see soon an overview page that walks you through the different points that you can configure the agent. Details, knowledge, actions, triggers, topics, starter prompts. But today, we're going to be focusing on the knowledge piece. Because it's a file demonstration, I'm going to disable the default AI knowledge just to make sure that we're fetching the data from the file itself and we can see that directly. Let's get started by adding knowledge. So you see here, you have public websites, SharePoint, Dataverse tables, and down below, you can upload files. And you can either drag and drop directly here, or you can select from your computer. I'm going to start with just Excel, demo product catalog. I'm going to add, you can see if you could add multiple files in one go. I'm going to start one by one. Due to sake of time, maybe I'll use Word to upload multiple files at the same time, but we'll start with Excel. So here we have one row for our file, the name, and then the description, which is saying that this knowledge source searches information in this Excel. You click Add, it's uploading the file. And then soon you will see that it will be added to this knowledge section down below, which you see here. So there we go. We're adding the file to the knowledge, to this agent, Retail Assistant 1. Now, one of the things I like to do is as I upload the knowledge source, I like going to the knowledge tab because it will just give you more information about the knowledge. And one of the things that you want to see is precisely this status, which shows that it's in progress. Now, what does this mean? This means that we are looking, or the agent is looking at the data that we have at the within the file, and we're indexing the data in order to be more easily searched. And so the answers have higher quality, and it's easier to fetch or more efficient to fetch the right information, depending on the prompt or the question that we're asking to the agent. For clarity, let me look up at the data that we have here so we can see. We're opening Excel. It's something that I couldn't do prior to upload because it doesn't let you upload the document if it's open, which we want to make sure that it's the latest content that you have there. And it's a very, simple Excel. It has product name, the categories, purchase pricing, and sell price. And what I was talking about indexing is to say, okay, so how many times is the word laptop in this table? How many times is electronics or home appliances in this document? And it's just another way to store information, so it's more easily retrieved, and we can rank the answer to be tailored to the question that it's being asked. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's ready. We can start asking questions to Copilot. Let me refresh because now we've added knowledge source, and it's always good to refresh data. So let's say, what are the products in the catalog? Retrieving includes a variety of products. Nice. And it's already sharing some of the laptops organized in electronics, home appliances, gaming and entertainment, and photography and videography, which is great. Okay, let's ask another question. What is the selling price of a microwave oven, for instance? Microwave oven. Waiting. Oh, the selling price of microwave oven is $150. Ooh, let's take a look. Microwave oven. Yep, selling price $150. Thank you. All right, let's now add more knowledge to this. Let's see. I want to know what are potential discounts and user manuals. So for the sake of time, I'm adding multiple Word documents, which is a good feature if you have multiple documents that you can upload to the agent. And then we'll take a look at the data that is inside of each Word document so we can see the differences and test the different scenarios here. So I'm adding, it's one for each row. And once it's added to the system and it's being indexed, I'm going to open those Word documents. Great. We've successfully added 3 documents. They're being indexed. And so let's take a quick look at what this content has. All right. First, I'm going to start with this discount Word document. As you can see, Word document, this only has this text, available discount images, and it's just a title or a heading in this case. The other things mentioned in this document, it's 2 images. So it's a good thing that you can actually use images inside of these Word documents or PDFs that you can leverage. Now, if I do Control F and I search for promotion, you'll see there are no matches whatsoever inside of this document from a text perspective. However, if I click here and I go to view all text, I did added a promotion that calls out 40% discount on microwave ovens, and the same thing for the dishwashers. Note the lovely design in these images. So you have the alt text here, which allows to describe what these images are. Now, in the other 2 documents, they're the same thing, fairly just a mock-up data around dishwasher user manual and the microwave user manual. This is mostly just text, not mostly just text. What I try doing here is making sure that I'm formatting the Word document, leveraging titles and headings, heading 1, heading 2. And this is just helps structure a little bit more the data so you can identify what is the content priority to organize the data. It's like putting data into drawers so it's easily fetched and just more organized. All right, we can close here or minimize. Let's take a look. It's still a little bit in progress. So let's see other things that we could ask Copilot. Oh, and actually, let's ask Copilot if something within the content of these Word documents, just to see how it would look different from before indexing to after indexing. So let's say what, oh, we're just finished indexing everything. So great, let's refresh everything again. And let's give it a try. Okay, so we have user manuals and we have discounts. So let's first ask, what are the safety instructions for microwave ovens? Let's see. It's retrieving the data. Oh, the safety instructions for microwave ovens include the following. Read instructions. Use microwave oven only for its intended purpose, and all those good things. And then you can see here that it is fetching the information in the right place. So demo microwave oven user manual. Great. Are there discounts available for microwave ovens? Let's take a look. Yes, there is a promotion that offers 40% discount on microwave ovens. Note how it can understand the semantics around discount and promotion because of the alt text. All right, let's take a look at a question just to fetch information from the dishwasher. So what are the dishwasher's modes? Let's see. The different modes available are quick mode, eco mode, normal, and heavy duty. Great. Everything seems to be computing just fine. Let's add, I believe it's the last piece of knowledge for today. So we have here the warranty. Now, I created this as in a PDF versus Word because as I'm building more dishwashers or microwave ovens, thinking that I'm a retail seller, I want to make sure that I keep these documents up to date, and I'm including the latest models within this Word document. For the warranty, I maybe want to have just one document that it's locked and it's not editable, so I can have all the information around warranties in just a single document. So I'm using PDF, uploading it, and it's going to index. And once it's done, adding the file directly to the agent, and while we're waiting for it to be indexed, we are going to take a look at what that document looked like. It's fairly simple. It's just, and I've used just Copilot just to generate this data, making sure that it's very simple. So I have here home appliances warranty guide. I have introduction, general warranty information, and then appliance specific warranty details. And this has all of the different products that are mentioned in the demo product catalog. So there's a match. So we can see here refrigerator and air conditioner, and what is the warranty period for each product, the coverage and exclusions, which is very helpful as a end user interacting with an agent to go to this one single place and just have all these questions. And that's actually one of the main advantages for an end user, is to be able to go to the single source and not having to go through multiple clicks, selecting the type of product to find the perfect model to then get the information at the end of the day. I just need to ask one quick question. I have this model, I'm reaching to the agent, and I just want to retrieve, like, what are the things that I need to look out when I'm managing or maintaining my home appliance. From a maker perspective, as you can see, it's just very easy, and I could have uploaded multiple files at the same time. Indexing is fairly quick. It just depends on the size and complexity of data. So we want to keep that in mind. But overall, it's just a great way to interact, to host multiple types of data, host multiple types of information for those end users at the end of the day. Now, actually, while it's in indexing, let's see if I can be fast enough and beat the system. Now, one thing I want to note is that in both user manuals for dishwasher and microwave ovens, I do have a little section on warranty, but we can see, as it's mentioned here, the references. We'll see if it's going to fetch the information to that PDF or those Word documents. So what is the warranty for microwave oven? Missed my interrogation mark. But it's good because Copilot knows. And so the microwave oven is covered by a 1-year limited warranty. And I know that this is fetching information from the user manual document. But we see that it's ready for indexing. So let's refresh. I can copy paste a question here. We'll refresh. We'll go back to the knowledge tab so you can see. And what is the warranty for microwave oven? Retrieving, thinking. The warranty for microwave oven typically covers defects and immaterials and workmanship under normal use. Oh, great. It's fetching information from all over these. How long does the warranty last for microwave ovens? Let's see. Typically 1 to 2 years. Okay. What about, since this includes other products, what about keyboards? Let's see. Ooh, typically 1 to 2 years. Are all of those the same? Is there any warranty that lasts more than 2 years? Take a look. Typically, it's 1 to 2 years, and we could check the demo warranty and a microwave oven user manual. So that is it. I can quickly recap what we've learned today. You can use Excel, and in this case, we use Excel to track the product type and selling prices. We used Word with images to keep up with the latest discounts. We used Word just to keep up with the user manuals up to date, and PDF to track the different warranties per product. From a maker perspective, it accepts any text-based file like PDF, Word, Excel. You can actually contain images within those documents. You can add multiple files at the same time. Each file can be as big as 512 megabytes, and files become part of the agent. And so it does support for end users. They don't have to be authenticated in order to access the data that's in those files. So it's a good alternative for other knowledge sources like SharePoint, for instance, that use security measures in place, which it has pros and cons, just like files. And so it's just a way to complement each other, just to have that access. For end users, it's quickly accessible for specific information without having multiple clicks. Only one point of contact for all of these different scenarios, which is great. They don't have to locally download data unless they actually choose to, which they would go to the website and they can, which currently is the scenario, they have to go to the website and download the data. And they don't have to be authenticated for that organization to retrieve the data. And that is it for today from me. I'll hand it over back to Vesa. I hope you enjoyed this demo.
Excellent. Thank you, Mariana. Really, really cool demo and nicely walked through how it worked. And luckily, everything moved almost in time. So we're all good, all good. Really, really cool. Thank you, Mariana. Brilliant demo. Perfect. Super exciting and well structured as well. Now, let's actually move then directly to Bob. We're a few minutes behind of the schedule. That's on me. I should have been faster on the intro. I do apologize on that. I'm trying to speak as fast as possible, but it's so hard. Right, Bob?
No worries.
But let's go to Bob, and then if we are a few minutes long today, and don't worry about if you need to drop, we'll get everything shared in YouTube within 24 hours. But Bob, we can see the screen, we can hear you.
Great.
Take it away.
Great, thank you so much. And so my topic is creating your first declarative agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot, and I'm going to show how to do that in using Teams Toolkit and potentially not requiring a Copilot license. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as I go through the demo. Now, this demo is actually part of Copilot Developer Camp, which, if you're not aware, is a virtual workshop with videos and hands-on labs for building Copilot agents. The URL is there, and I'll show you the site right now. So everything is here. We've got a whole video briefing for you, and hands-on labs in 3 different tracks. Extend, which is building declarative agents with Teams Toolkit. Build your own agent, where you write your own agent with any AI engine that you want. And then there's news, thanks to my new teammate, Paolo. We have Maker Labs, including Copilot Studio, and the Agent Builder and SharePoint. So lots of cool things. So the question on your mind might be, how do I know which one to do? It's kind of a complicated decision tree. Well, here's the decision tree, and Paolo just made a cool video, which I'll talk about in a second, that helps you navigate this. The first question is, do you want to do Maker or Code? And if you go down the code path and you want to use the Microsoft 365 built-in artificial intelligence, then that's what I'm going to show today. You want to build a declarative agent in that case. So Paulo has just walked through all 23 labs in just 14 minutes. He doesn't show them every single step, but he shows what is the result and explains the difference, explains the principles. It's a great video. I highly recommend checking that out. So today I'm going to demo the first 2 labs on what we call the extend path. We're extending the Copilot that's built into M365. So I'm just going to literally do it right here, demonstrate it. These are the 2 labs that I'm going to show. And then over the coming weeks, we'll be showing labs from all these different tracks, so you can actually see what it's like. And this is something that, of course, you can do at home. So absolutely try it. So the first step I need to do is I need to configure Teams upload policy. And this is so that Teams Toolkit can actually upload your agent programmatically just by pushing F5. So it's really nice. But in order for that to work, you have to go into Teams admin, or maybe you have to bake cookies for your admin and get them to do it for you. And so to do that, you go into Teams apps, set up policies, and you need to click a policy that your user is part of. So I'll just use the global org-wide, and that's the setting right there, is upload custom apps. Now, if it's already set, you're good to go. If it's not set, don't forget to hit save, and it can take up to 24 hours to take effect, although usually it's only a couple of hours. So that's the first step. I'll check that one off. And let's come down here, and the next thing I need to do is set up my development machine with Teams Toolkit and all the other prerequisites. So let's actually do that. Now I'm going to do this on Windows, but everything here also works on Mac OS. So Visual Studio Code, you might already have it if you're doing regular coding types of tasks. It's extremely popular, but I'll just show how easy it is. You just download this thing, and I'm going to set this thing up kind of using the defaults, except I love the little open with code shortcut, so I'll turn that on so that on Windows you can right-click and have it open a folder directly or file directly in Visual Studio Code. So, okay, we'll go ahead and launch that, and there we go. So simple enough. So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of go back to the instructions and see what's next. And so we did that one. And the next thing is to install Node.js. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to do it the way I prefer and recommend, which is I'm going to use something called Node Version Manager. There's a different NVM depending on if you're Windows, Mac, or Linux. So you want to pick the one for your operating system. And what this does is you'll find, if you're a developer, that different development scenarios require different versions of Node.js. So maybe SharePoint requires one version and Teams Toolkit might require another. So what NVM allows you to do is pivot right on your computer without reinstalling from one version of Node to another. So it's great, but the only thing is you have to install it up front before you put Node on your machine. So now I'm going to NVM list. I have no installations of Node. So for the labs, I need version 20. So it's going to go, and it turns out the latest version 20, the subversion is 20.18.3. So now it's installed that for me, but I'm not yet set up to use it. So I'm going to say nvm use 20.18.3. And that will go ahead and install. And now I can check the version, and yep, it's there, it's working, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so now I'm going to install Teams Toolkit, which is the final prerequisite for these labs. And this is extremely easy. It's inside of Visual Studio Code. All I have to do is type Teams, and there it is right on the list. Click the install button, wait a moment, and it will install. And we get a nice little walkthrough and explanation for that. So now let's create the project. So I'll go in and create a new app. I want an agent. I want a declarative agent. I don't want a plugin in this case. We'll get to that in the next segment, which will be in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to make the geolocator game. Perhaps you've seen this demo before, although I think this is a little bit of a deeper dive than we've done in the past. So there's what it created. And I'll trust the authors, and I get a whole README, which I'm gonna, developers don't really read the directions, right? So I'm gonna skip that and just go and sign in. Now I'm playing the part of Amber here, who is a fictitious user in my developer tenant. And you can see that Teams Toolkit has signed me in so that it now has permission to install the app. And it has checked to make sure that that custom app upload is enabled. That's the one that I showed you a moment ago. It's also checked that Copilot access is enabled. So this one is interesting because it's kind of a moving target. So this is checking to see if I have a Copilot license for M365. The first part of this lab doesn't actually require the Copilot license anymore because they now have Copilot for all. So this will probably give you an error message if you don't have the Copilot license, but don't be scared. It still will, the first part of this will work. The SharePoint integration will not work. Depending on if you have that Copilot license. I do have it, so I'm going to see that it is enabled right here. So now let's go ahead and see what code it has generated. The first thing I'm going to look is the app package. I'm going to look at the manifest. So this is the same manifest that is used in all Teams and M365 applications, not SharePoint, but all of the M365 ones. And you can put tabs and bots and all kinds of stuff in here. What I've got is a Copilot agent. It's a declarative agent, and it's inside of this JSON file. So this whole thing is really just writing JSON, and Teams Toolkit did all the heavy lifting for us, and then writing in natural language. So the instructions are in this instructions.txt. And I'm going to go ahead, and it gave me some very simple text, but I'm going to replace that with some text from the lab. And it's defined a game, a fairly complex game on geolocation, so it's guessing locations. And it's got scoring rules and all kinds of details, but I didn't have to write anything special. It's just, actually, Rabia Williams wrote this lab, and Aicha Bosch also designed the game. So anyway, it's very simple. It's just plain English in this case, although you could use another supported language. And then I'm going to add the conversation starters. These are the prompts that it suggests, that Copilot suggests at the beginning of a conversation. So I need to remember to save my instruction file. And now, normally I would click F5 debugger, but in this case, there's nothing on the on my local machine to debug. So I'm just going to provision it, which will compile the package files together and upload them into Microsoft 365. So now let me launch my browser, and I could do this manually, but there's a shortcut here. If I click Run and Debug, it's going to bring up the Copilot in a local browser. And I can see here there's my geolocator game, and I will go ahead and take sort of the default and get the first clue. And it's a city in the continent of Europe and known for a maritime climate. I'm going to guess that it's probably London. I always guess London. I don't know, I just think of it. But there, it's not it. Historic architecture, a well-known cathedral. Must be Paris, right? Notre Dame is such a beautiful cathedral. Oh, there's a lot of cathedrals in Europe. I guess I had it wrong. Birthplace of the Renaissance. I think I have to look that one up, but I think it's Florence. And yes, it's correct. Okay, that's great. So I'm trying to go as fast as I can here because of time. But the special challenges that it's suggesting are based on SharePoint content. So let's go back to the lab and take care of that, shall we? So I'll close this down, and first thing I have to do is upload the files into SharePoint. So I'm going to download the files and open that up. And I have to unzip them because I get a zip archive when I do that. Obviously, this is different on different operating systems. There's the files. And now what I need to do is to create a SharePoint site. Now, I really wanted to do a SharePoint demo today, so I had to include this because my roots are kind of in SharePoint, if any of you have known me for a long time. And so I'm going to create a team site, a standard team, and just use that standard template. And I'm going to call it, the name inside of the lab is different, but I already had one of those, so I'm calling it something different. It won't actually create a site with a dash in it, even though I don't get an error there, so I had to fix that and get rid of that. And then I need to make this public so that all the users of my app can read the files, because it will enforce whatever security is on the site. And now here's my site, and I'll just go ahead and upload these files. So my documents, and yep, I don't really need to learn something about agents. We're building one already. So let me pop in here, grab the files, and upload both of them. And now that's done. So what I need to do is tell Copilot about these files. So I'm going to copy the URL into my clipboard and go back to the declarative agent files. And actually, I'm going to put this in an environment variable. Now, I could hard code this, but it's nice to put it inside of an environment variable. So if you have more than one deployment from here, you can set up different environments to deploy to different places. And I'd like this to adapt to all of the different environments. So there it is. I'm just saying, hey, you have the capability of querying this SharePoint site. And as a reminder, this does require the Copilot license because it uses the semantic index, which is expensive for us to host. So we require the license. Now I'm going to bump the version number so that it will ensure that when I redeploy this, that it's going to overwrite the previous one, and I'll go back and reprovision. Almost there. So that provisions, and I'll come back here and go to this time I'm just going to navigate directly to Copilot, and let's go ahead and see if that works. So geolocator game, I'm going to try the challenge here and see what happens. And it's asking for the traveler's diary, which was one of those PDF files. And the instructions had some details about that, but it doesn't work. Oh no. And the reason is, and as the previous presenter showed, you have to wait for the files to be indexed. And we don't have a fancy little display for that. So you can use search or something to see if they've hit the index or not. But in any case, after a few moments, it works perfectly, and it can ask me a question about an ancient map. The crossroads of two continents, that's almost always Istanbul. So I'm going to try Istanbul because I know it's very unique geographically, and it also is important to spell Istanbul correctly, which is a bit of a challenge for me. And I'm correct, yay! So that's it. In the coming weeks, we're going to have more demos from the Copilot Developer Camp, and if you want to try this hands-on, here is the URL and the URL of Paulo's video, which shows all of the lab results and explains all the different paths through Copilot Camp. So I hope to see you in Copilot Camp, and I'll kick it back to you, Vesa.
Excellent. Thank you, Bob, on that one. Really, really cool. Great demo, great walkthrough. And again, the material is available for anybody to follow. Now,
Absolutely.
We'll now jump on Rama, and we promised her a full demo time, so we will go a bit long today. So we don't want Rama you to rush. Take your time. Anybody who needs to drop on the hour, we do apologize, but you can always check the recording within 24 hours at the YouTube channel. But Rama, we can see the slides. Let's check the audio.
Thank you, Vesa.
Yes, audio is there as well. Sorry, just saying, take it away. All good.
Sure, thank you.
Take your time.
Okay, so hi folks. So this is the last piece of today's session where we are going to learn how to discover and install agents inside Copilot Studio. Now, we are in the agent era, and Copilot is evolving as a UI for AI. Now, soon, every employee will be having a Copilot that knows them and their work, and the users can use these copilots to enhance their productivity. Now, Copilot Studio is the low-code tool you will be using to build agents and to automate business processes. And finally, we have a set of agents that is offered inside Copilot Studio and also available in my M365 Copilot. Now, if you, to name a few, so if you are already part of Copilot Studio and if you've logged into Copilot Studio, you can see a bunch of agents that's offered by Microsoft. And to name a few, this is the employee self-service agent. This is the leave management agent, and you have factory operations agents, you have the store operations agents, and so on. Now, in the next 10 minutes, what I'm going to show you is, as an IT administrator, when I come to Copilot Studio Marketplace, I can do 4 things. I can discover all agents in one place, whether the agents are offered by Microsoft for you to use, or it is built by ISVs and partners and made it available through Copilot Studio for you to use. And then you can discover the agents based on their industry or search keywords, and you would be able to search them and then discover them. And then the next thing is, okay, hey, once you have discovered an agent, now you want to get into the installation journey where we are providing a guided experience for you to go ahead and install the agent. And but not the least, but once you install the agent, we all know that the agents it's not like, one size fits all. You would need to go ahead and do the customizations, tailor the agents for your business processes and business scenarios. And if you are as an IT administrator, you can bring value to this installation by tailoring this agent with pre-built extensions. So that's what we'll be covering in this 4th section. Now, before getting into that demo, I'll be covering 2 personas. One is as an IT administrator at Contoso. How am I going to come to Copilot Studio and install the agent? And then I'll wear the hat of an end user and see, okay, how can I leverage these agents and use the agents for my personal productivity? I hope you can see my screen here. So if I am a maker, an IT administrator, when I come to the Copilot Studio Create page, so this is considered to be the marketplace for low-code agents. Now, if I'm an administrator and come to this page, can see a list of managed agents offered by Microsoft as well as ISVs and partners. And then I can go ahead and pick an agent and start doing the installation. Now, these are all app source packages provided by published by the distributors package owners and distributed externally in app source. Now, I can come to Copilot Studio, come to the create page, which is my marketplace, and I can discover these agents and I can go ahead and install. Now, some agents installations are a multi-step process. So in this case, the Copilot for Finance is a multi-step process. And if I look for take some other agent like employee self-service, it's a simple installation experience which contains only a single step. Now, me as an administrator, I get the ability to review the connections and configurations associated with the agent. I have the opportunity to change those configurations before I do the install. And these configurations are going to influence the behavior of the agent post-install. Okay, and if I take an example of employee self-service, this is kind of a single step install process. However, this is going to have this agent comes with pre-built extensions built for leveraging to benefit the IT administrators or HR executives or even legal and CELA things, which I can extend post install. So for this demo, I'm going to choose the employee self-service as the agent that I would like to install, and then I click install. Now, since, as I said, this is a single step installation experience, The installation starts right away. Now, at this step, either I can wait for this install to complete because it's going to take 1 or 2 minutes to complete, or I can go ahead and close this agent and the installation will continue behind the scenes asynchronously. And once this install is complete, I can see the agent installation status as part of the tile itself. To save time, I'm just going to skip to the next tab where the agent is already installed. So once installed, you will see that the agent is installed. I can either open the agent by clicking the tile, click the open, or I can go to the agents page and can directly select the agent from the list of agents that's available to me. Now, the next part. So now that we discovered and then we installed. Now it's time for us to customize. Now, as an IT administrator, when I come to the overview page, scroll down, there is a section called Customize. And this is the place where I can go ahead and see the list of pre-built extensions that are available for this agent. Okay, so today there is only one pre-built extension available, but soon this will be the place where I can see a list of pre-built extensions, and me as an IT administrator, I can pick and choose which agent pre-built extension is required for my business scenario, and then I can go ahead and add. Say for example, if this employee self-service agent is built to answer your HR questions, your IT questions, and your say legal questions, probably there are 3 different extensions available to you. And you as an organization, if you are dealing only with HR related stuff, not with IT or legal, you don't need to install those additional packages. You just go ahead and install only the package that comes with the HR capabilities. You go ahead and install. Okay. So in this case, there is only one thing available. I'm going to install this. Now, this once again goes through the same installation wizard experience that we have saw for the agents. Now, this is a 2-step process here because it needs to connect it to either to the local data store, or in this case, if your agent is dealing with the external data source like SAP SuccessFactors or something else, then of course you need to make a connection, and this connections and configurations are already comes along with the pre-built extension pack itself. Now, if the connections are, say, incorrect, this is the right time for me to, go ahead and change the connections and then go ahead and install. It's okay. We can go ahead and enter this information here. So username, and let me re-enter the password. Yeah, I need to scroll down and click create. So once these connections are set, then the next button appears. I can go ahead and do the installation. This installation, once again, has been kicked in. I don't need to wait on this page because it's going to take 1 or 2 minutes for this installation to complete. At this stage, either I can go ahead and close this window and the installation will continue behind the scenes, or I can wait for the installation to complete and then I will see an open screen, or it will navigate me to the details page. Now, assume that, I have, installed it and the installation is complete. Now, I will be navigated to the pre-built extensions details page where I can see the list of components that are associated to this pre-built package. Okay, so this is the experience for an IT administrator. Now, after this, makers can go ahead and customize this agent like any other agent. You can go ahead and publish it to M365 Copilot. Now, once this is made available to end users, what I can do here is, as an end user, I will see employee self-service agent in the right nav of my Copilot. Whether I'm opening an Office Copilot or a Teams Copilot or a Windows Copilot, doesn't matter because we are publishing to the M365 Copilot, which is the common surface area for all these Copilots. Now I can see my agent. I can launch my agent. I can ask a question to my agent. So since I installed the HR vertical, I'm going to ask a question, hey, what is the parental leave policy I should refer to? And it's going to give me the parental leave policy that Microsoft offers me as an employee. Yep. So I got the leave, parental leave policy details, and also I have links which can help me, learn more about it. So that's it about this demo. Going back to our section, a quick recap on what we did. So what we did is we went to Copilot Studio. As an IT administrator, I can go ahead and discover a set of agents, and I can install the agents if I'm an administrator, but not for other personas. And then I went ahead and installed the employee self-service agent using the install button that is available to me. And then once I installed, I not only installed the agent, but I also installed a pre-built extension pack that is available for my HR agent. And then I customized it. And then I used that agent inside, M365 Copilot. So that's it, friends. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed the demo. And thank you for staying connected with the community. Over to you, Isa.
Excellent. Thank you, Rama. Really great work on explaining how that works, and awesome stuff. This is really, really interesting and exciting to see all of these capabilities live as well. So thank you for doing this. Also, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Mariana. Really, really great demos today, and great engagement on the chat as well. Thank you for all of the attendees. Cool. And now, for anybody who needs to drop, we will close up within a few minutes. Recording will be available in the YouTube channel. I will give you the links in a second, already in the chat. Next week, we do have 3 demos. There's a massive demand for these calls right now, also internally, which is great. So a lot of cool stuff available. I will try to squeeze in the intro a bit, so we get a bit more time on the demos as well. But 18th, we have Aisha, April, and Rama doing a demos again on different topics. So customer engine agents, getting started on creating autonomous agents with Copilot Studio. And Rama is back to talking about also ability to engage with agents across Power Platform environments, which is really, really cool. In the meanwhile, please to take advantage of our other community calls, or you could also take advantage of our Discord server, where we have more than 2,700 members already. So if you are in Discord and this familiar forum for you, or a tool for you, great way of engaging other people within a community. We're always also looking for feedback around these community calls. So if you have a few minutes, please set us a notes over there. That helps us on continuing these calls also in next fiscal and in the future. But that's it for today. We did went a few minutes long. I do apologize on that one. The recording will be available at Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel at TakeMS Community YouTube within 24 hours, typically much faster than that. And you can follow us on LinkedIn and Blue Sky and Twitter, and you will get the notes whenever stuff is available. Next call on April 18th. And all of the community calls at TakeMS Community calls. And if you download the recurrent invites, then all of the invites will be aligned properly within this time zone mess where we are currently, where US moved already, Europe moves later. Some of the countries don't use daylight savings. So it's a bit of a challenge time of the year, again, always when this happens. But it's getting better. If you download the recurrent invites, it will be all good. But thanks, everybody. Let's stay in touch and have a great rest of the week. You are all awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.